Hi, good evening. I hope you're all good. And today I'm going to talk about one of these subjects that people ask so many questions about, especially in the past. People used to come and say to me, "But Amor, who is my soulmate?" Difficult question to answer, isn't it? And it's true, isn't it? Imagine if your spouse or your wife passes away and then you remarried and then she might pass away and then you remarry maybe three times. So which one? You love the three, you love them equally. Or maybe you don't, maybe you're in love with somebody from the past. So which one is your soulmate, you know? And if your consciousness allows past lives, God knows who you married. And if you were male or female in your past life, there's so many questions to answer, isn't it? And the answer is actually very straightforward and extremely easy. And this is something that I consider extremely important. That one of the choices is having an amazing, fulfilling relationship. And I thought in my early years, because apart from looking for the source and the truth, I was looking also for my soulmate. I had this idea, this fairy tale idea of getting married, having a beautiful family and children. Didn't quite go that way, but I think it's the fantasy that everybody has. Well, not fantasy, the wish that we have to share your life with that one person that truly loves you unconditionally and understands you. So to find somebody who understood me, that was going to be a challenge. But I welcome the challenge, and then I felt drawn to England for two reasons. One, I knew my soulmate was there. That's what I thought. I had a feeling. And the other one, obviously, I was need to expand my horizons and search, um, I embarked on going to England from Spain and leave Spain behind. And this is how it works. If you haven't seen the video of the session Perception about the virtual reality game of life, watch it. And if you haven't watched the previous videos, do watch them, please, because otherwise it gets quite complex. I'm doing it the way I'm doing it for a reason, so that you follow it and you're able to understand the journey of enlightenment, at least my journey, but anybody who goes through enlightenment, they go through similar experiences. We all go through the same. So if I ask you a question, did you feel in the past when you were younger that something was missing and you thought that it was your other half, isn't it? That's what we think. At least that's part of what I thought, that in order to be 100% complete, I need source and my soulmate and my cats. You know what I mean? And and it's actually not like that. And totally get it now. I got it when I first got enlightened, and suddenly that need to be complete was completely fulfilled. Suddenly, it was just a change. It was this feeling that ah, I don't really need anybody. I'm actually complete, you know. Um, and it just felt very strange because I've spent all my life looking for that one soulmate. Um, and at the time I was in a relationship that I was trying to get out for years and years and years and years and years and years, till eventually the universe just threw me the biggest bombshells and I had to leave. And it wasn't a good relationship. And he was my projection. She was my shadow. We didn't agree on anything. We lived in separate rooms. But we had lots of different properties together, all the money, and then what do you do? How do you? And he didn't want to let go, and he seemed to be happy just living like that. I was looking, I was on my own world looking for enlightenment and stuff, and still working out not looking for enlightenment, but more. Even when you go there, you kind of want more. So I realized later on in life that it doesn't matter who you are, who you're with, basically. Um, if you are currently with a partner and some of you are experiencing difficulties, remember that everything comes from within. That person, if we stop time, is a digital image, and that person becomes alive through the power of observation of your consciousness, and it's up to how you want to see that person. I remember my last coach who became my husband, he said to me, I can be either. I can be your shadow or your projection. I can be the man that you're in love with and you want to be with, or I can be exactly the same as your ex-partner and you can repeat the same pattern. This is the choice that you have. And I totally got it. I totally understand that. So for me, I think if you are with somebody and maybe have children and you're having problems, that it's worth to sit back and thinking, well, maybe I need to approach this in a different way. Maybe I need to think that he's separate from me. Maybe I need to think that um, I'm actually projecting here those all instructions of the problem solving structure and identity and my belief system that he is not the right person for me. And then you've coded that and you don't think. And how many people, I remember a friend of mine, bless her, she was so nice, one of the nicest person on the planet. And she was so sweet. Every time she met somebody, she used to come to me, I met my soulmate. I thought, there we go again. I said, great. About 2-3 months later, that person became really abusive and beat her up, and she had to leave the relationship and had that keep occurring. And she couldn't see that she was repeating the same patterns all the time. According to her, she just didn't understand how men were so nice and then they became so evil in her eyes. All men were like that because that's what she experienced. And she was just executing that instructions that was on her field, unless she was aware of those instructions and she was able to actually change then her beliefs and see, wait a minute, you know, maybe he's not what I think he is. Maybe I can change my approach. Maybe I can begin to love him, to show him little things of how much I care for him. And look at the time when you were in love with that person and see if we can revive this. The thing that we need to understand is that how the male and female energies work. Through conscious educations, we can see that the male energy is the one that takes action, and the female energy is the more intuitive, the one that nurtures and connects to the superconscious. Um, but there is more about the male and female energy. Men, I don't know if you women here agree with me. How many times you just want to tell your husband about something and you don't want him to fix it or anything. You just want to tell him that you didn't have a good day. You just want to be listened. And then your husband wants to sort out exactly what happened and the details, and he tries to help you, and you just want to talk. And it's that men cannot help it. They're kind of like decide to be the heroes of the woman, and kind of like she's got something that she's experiencing her problem. The men just try to resolve it. Automatically their brain begins into helping you resolve, even if it's not the way of resolving it. I've realized this with my husband very early, that if I want to talk about something and not have a solution straight away, I just speak to the superconscious if I had a bad day, because he would just try to sort it out. And then I realized the importance of seeing him as this amazing hero, which he is my hero because he's my projection. He's my male energy. They're projecting to be the hero because it's the hero's journey. So sometimes I visualize him as Superman, Iron Fist, Captain America, and either I've got these things on my mind. Today you're Superman, things like that. I make my relationship as exciting as I may possibly can. I always get ready before he comes, when he goes away, because sometimes he's away half of the week doing his thing, and when he comes, I make sure that I look as nice as possible. It might last 5 minutes because then I get changed. I might cook a meal. But when I open the door, I look my best. I look the part to welcome my hero, to have an amazing evening. And with the female, in order for us to bring that love to the surface and really share it to the maximum and full potential, we need to be a love and adore. That's what women love, to be unconditionally loved. And there is one rule in my relationship, only eyes for me. And the only woman you ever wanted, and you are the only one I ever wanted. And that's it, because we are each other's projections. Um, and if somebody asked, but I mean, obviously your ex-partner wasn't uh, your um, your your reflection. It was your projection. Couldn't you have changed that? And the truth is, yes, you could have changed. You can change the projection, but it depends on the feel of that person. Sometimes, even if you try, I did try to change the approach with my ex-partner and be really nice and kind. Uh, but it was not going. Sometimes, even when you change your approach and you don't react, and you give unconditional love and try to sort it, it's not going to happen, and then the relationship will just vanish, and you'll get the right one coming along. Sometimes a relationship ends, sometimes it gets resolved. Most of the time it gets resolved um, by you realizing that your husband is far from separate from you. Is actually your female Omer energy, and it's up to you to view that energy as something amazing, to to value, to treasure, to never forget, to show the other one how much in love you are with them, and how grateful you are for having stood by you. Um, I remember when I was going through my journey, and the amount of times I got self-sabotage, and I was going into want, and I was, I was going, it was my husband's fault. My husband just looked at me, I think, just gonna let her just calm down. And then I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. That wasn't me. And he would say, yeah, you were intruded. That's okay. Sometimes he would leave just because I would be really, really abusive, because whatever part came over me. And but he couldn't say anything. And when the same happened to him, I go to the same. So one have to be, sometimes when the self-sabotaging patterns come, one to be, if you can see that your partner has been self-sabotaging, just be the better person kind of thing at that moment, and just don't react. Just love that person unconditionally. And regardless if that relationship is not going to go anywhere, and it's going to finish, then still love. You can still love them even if you don't like them. Yeah. You can still unconditionally love them. And just remember, there's always a learning. There was an amazing reason what it was with my ex-partner. One day I'll explain it. I wouldn't change it for the world. And there was another reason why I didn't meet my soulmate till quite late on my life. But also I will explain. Today the video was simply to let you know that not to give up in love. Sometimes people begins to create a nice business, a nice house, this for my children or whatever, and we forget the one thing, which is having an amazing fulfilled relationship. But that means, great sex, great fun, you know, great companionship to share your journey together. I think that should be second priority, isn't it? The source is first. Second, the husband. For me, the third is my cats, the animal kingdom. But you know what I mean. So I hope this has helped you view soulmate relationships in a different way, and not to give up on love. How many people said to me, I've got her so many times, I do know what a relationship. Totally get it. But you cannot give up on love, can you? Because really, at the moment in this illusory world, love is the only true energy and real energy that we have. So, if I had been enlightened at early age, my search would have been to find love. And you can only reflect your higher self and the light on somebody else, especially your partner, when you truly, truly look at yourself in your mirror and said, I love you. I love you because I'm one with the source, because I persevere. Look what I did, and I look at my past. I kept on going, and I just love myself. I love the way myself. I couldn't want to be anybody else. I love the way I look at things, at life, the way I amuse myself on my own, the way I can be on my own and with people. the fact that I only do what I want to do in one day. I don't listen to anybody except the source. Um, Listen to anybody. I mean, the intuition advice, the right advice, is what I meant. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and the next two videos are going to be about the same subject because it's extremely important. It's intruding fields. So I thought I'd leave it for the last, and I'll do a really good summary of exactly what it is, so you're aware and realize about that. So till the next video, I hope you've enjoyed this. I love you unconditionally, and it's about 7 p.m. in the evening. Just order a takeaway, and I'm gonna have some fun with my husband and enjoy my projection, no, my reflection. Oh. and have an amazing evening of unconditional love with um, the man I love, which is me. Okay. See you later. Love you all.